It's been a long and sometimes rocky road for everyone's favorite comic book web slinger, from great movies to not so great movies and everything in between. For a lot of people, myself included, Spider-Man Homecoming seemed like a chance at a fresh start, a do-over, the chance to get things right this time that might have been gotten wrong before. And even before getting his own solo outing, Spider-Man actor Tom Holland was already stealing the show in Captain America: Civil War, so surely it wouldn't be all that difficult to parlay that success into a brand new film, am I right? Well, that's what I'm here to talk about today. The movie itself takes place only a couple months after the events of Civil War. Peter Parker has gotten a taste for big-time superheroics, and he desperately wants to do more of it, even if his own personal stomping ground in Queens isn't exactly a hotbed of costumed criminality, not yet anyway. Now, a lot was made even before the release of this movie that for the 6th Spider-Man film, they would be forgoing all the origin stuff, and it really does feel great to see a Spider-Man not have to retread old material and offer us up a Spider-Man that feels more fully formed than ever before. And yet also not be afraid to show a Spider-Man who is still very early in his career, still learning the full extent of his powers, and who at heart is still very much a child of only 15. And that really is a damn great thing in my mind. Even the other good Spider-Man movies, I feel, dropped the ball by making Spider-Man grow up way too quickly. The MCU as it stands right now has plenty of adult super people, so Spider-Man feels all the more special because of his youthful spirit and voice. And it ends up going even deeper than that, because at its heart, Spider-Man Homecoming is a movie all about not growing up too fast and learning to savor the journey that is life. If I had to pick a subgenre for Spider-Man Homecoming, I would definitely call it a teen comedy or a teen coming-of-age story. But hey, that's the hero, and we all know a hero is only as strong as the villain that's opposing them, and I'm happy to say Michael Keaton, the original '89 Batman, is a joy as a radically reimagined version of the Vulture. You see, comic book Adrian Toomes was never really much more than another mad scientist with a bird fetish. Instead, Homecoming chooses to give us a Toomes who is the head of a group of down-on-their-luck contractors, many of whom also share names with classic Spider-Man bad guys, who start dealing in black market alien technology when their legit jobs are stripped away from them by the so-called elites like Tony Stark, in doing so forcing him to live on the scraps the superhero community leave in their wake, making him both a literal and figurative vulture. Turning Vulture into a blue-collar schlub who turns to the dark side makes him in many ways the perfect foil for Holland's new Spider-Man, which more than ever is pushing the friendly neighborhood side of the hero. Spider-Man is portrayed as the ultimate underdog himself, but moreover than that, as the protector of the other underdogs in the world. Unlike Toomes, whose villainous actions hurt plenty of people in more or less the same boat as him. Robert Downey Jr. is also back on hand as Tony Stark, Peter's would-be mentor and father figure. Tony doesn't hijack the movie like some, including myself, feared that he might, but his scenes are nevertheless poignant and do a good job growing the Iron Man character. Keep in mind, this is post-Civil War, and Stark is in a major rebuilding process in his own life. He's alienated a good chunk of his friends, and so having a pet project in Peter Parker and Spider-Man is something that he might not admit he needs, but he needs it. The supporting cast is also stellar and needs a special mention of their own. From Peter's best friend, Ned Leeds, a Lego-loving superhero fanboy who wants nothing more than to help out Peter Parker and be his own personal oracle. Marissa Tomei's younger, hotter Aunt May, who takes more than a few cues from the ultimate version of Aunt May. Her basic arc includes helping Peter out with more relationship stuff and getting other characters hung up on just how hot she really is. Also, can't forget all the Spidey high school staples like Flash Thompson, First Love Liz Allen, and even Hannibal Buress, who shows up as a funny gym teacher. Now, I think we can all agree one of the best secret weapons to the Marvel Cinematic Universe success has always been the comedy and the quotable nature of their films. It's why I only feel that it's right to finally have a movie Spider-Man written with some killer comedy material and offered up a ton of interesting avenues to showcase his own particular brand of physical spider-based comedy. A standout for me has to be a long scene involving the suburbs. The soundtrack is killer too, not Guardians 2 level, but hey, what can be? Standouts include the Rolling Stones, the Ramones, and even Flock of Seagulls. Wow, was not expecting that one. The main theme you've probably already heard by now, and it samples the oh-so-classic Spider-Man cartoon theme, which is so damn genius an idea, I don't know why more superhero movies haven't already tried doing this. So yeah, overall, I felt Homecoming hit pretty much every note I wanted it to. I could complain about the suit maybe being a little too high-tech for this first Spider-Man outing, but I think the movie is smart enough to use it to good effect to help illustrate just how in over his head Peter really is. I could also complain about a couple character reveals here and there with their names, but again, that would be spoiling. Honestly, I don't think I need to sell anyone on a new Spider-Man movie. You're either in or you're out by this point, but hey, for what it's worth, I dug Homecoming a hell of a lot, and I feel really good about the future of this hero, this franchise, and their place in the bigger Marvel Cinematic Universe. And oh yes, you will most definitely want to stick around for post-credit scenes. There's a really funny one, and one that alludes to some cool stuff they might be doing in future movies. So there you go, everyone. That's my thoughts on Spider-Man Homecoming. Do you agree? If so, tell me in the comments section down below, and I will be back again in another video. Bye-bye.